Hello, 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 and welcome as we take center stage on the Own It platform with Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine. Today, we have an awesome and amazing guest with us. We have he's a fitness professional. He actually specializes in DNA testing. So y'all, if you guys want to take yourselves to the next level when it comes to your health and wellness, you definitely want to listen in here and listen to what this guy's got to say. Fitness professional out there as well, you really need to listen in because if you want to step up your game, it's time. So I'm going to bring on John Kelly. He is our featured business owner in our October edition. Also, hopefully going to be one of our contributing writers moving forward. Let me go ahead and bring John in. Hey, John, good morning. Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Good. Welcome. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, John. I just have the tip.
I've been doing personal training with folks since about 2008. I've been certified in two different organizations. One is AFA and the other one is ISSA. I had gone through a period of time in my life where I had struggled with weight loss. Just couldn't quite get into the shape that I wanted to get into. And, like a lot of people, I'd go to the gym and I'd kind of look around. And because, I'm a man, I'd just pretend I knew what I was doing. And, really wasn't very effective a lot of the times for the goals that I had. So I went ahead and I took the course. I learned what it takes to do it properly. And since then, I've been trying to help as many people as I can, as I said, since 2008. And that's pretty much about it. Yeah. That's how I got into the field, pretty much just trying to get myself back into shape.
And like we've talked in the past, and I told you I started my my journey in 2008 as well. So
right.
I saw some of your journey even from back when. Tell us a little bit about just your competition and in the past, because I've seen some of your pictures and things like that. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah.
Years and years ago when I was a younger man, I did, when I wanted to get back into shape, it was mainly because I had wanted to do some amateur MMA cage fighting down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So that's really kind of what pushed me to start to get back into shape. I had let myself go. I'd gotten out of the military, kind of went through a little bit of a depressive state. It was a big change going from the military life to the civilian life. Yeah. It kind of worked out. So I got myself back into shape. Since then, I have done one bodybuilding contest for, I think at the time it was for the over 40 category. And I was able to successfully win that category, my category at least. I think I got lucky. But since then, I've gone on to take additional courses to be an online coach, certified online coach, functional training. I'm working on some nutritional courses right now, but those are a little tough and that takes quite a bit. And the main specialty that I'm working on right now is a DNA genetics-based program designer. And that's where we design a program based on the individual's DNA, just a little test. Everybody knows about DNA tests, a little swab test. You run the DNA test, and from there we can yield a lot of information about everybody individually, what's going to work best for them. Yeah. So that's pretty much my specialty at the current moment.
Awesome. So now tell me, is it true that some people they just can't lose weight because of the way that they're like genetically dispositioned, like just to be overweight? Is that true? I mean,
it's a good question because a lot of people do have that misunderstanding. They think, my parents have been overweight, my brother's overweight, my sister's overweight, my cousin's overweight. I'm just genetically predisposed to be overweight. And that's not necessarily true. Your genetics are going to have a huge part, and they play a huge role in what's going to work for you. Now, keeping in mind that doesn't mean if you've got great genetics that you're going to be in just great shape. Some people just walk around and they're in great shape. Everybody goes, oh, they got great genetics. Yeah. It's also going to depend on your lifestyle. If you've got great genetics, but yet, you don't do anything, you watch TV, you're not active, you're smoking, you're drinking, things like that, you're still not going to be able to yield the best benefits. And then you've got some people that their genetics, maybe they're not as inclined as others to be that good. So they got to work at it a little bit harder, but it can still be done. The bottom line is everybody has the ability to lose weight. Everybody does. There's nobody out there that can say, I'm not going to be able to lose weight because of my genetics or because of my family history or my DNA. Everybody's got the ability to do it. It's just finding that right program that really zeroes in on what works for you as an individual, which is why they call it personal training. We personalize it to each and every single individual, what's going to work best for them. So.
Yeah. I know I tend to get, some of those, clients that do give me that excuse about, their family and just, again, how they're, predisposed. So I'm glad that you let us know. I mean, I think really just consistency is key, right? I mean, I know that, some people, like for myself, it took me 3 years to release over 100 pounds. And it was an up and down thing, and I think I noticed too, when I would get depressed or I would get, stressed out and things like that, I would start, I'm an emotional eater, and I still, to this day, I'm very mindful of it, right?
I'm guilty of the same thing. I will eat. There was a time when I would eat until my stomach would hurt. I'd unbuckle my pants, I'd undo my button, and there's food still there. I'm going, yeah, but that's so good, and I'm upset. So I would just keep eating, and it was terrible. I mean, I would feel bad. It was awful. But that's me. I'm an emotional eater. I'll deal with that pretty much all my life. And we all have our little vices, but luckily my wife has recognized it, so she's pretty good at just kind of reaching across the table and taking my plate. She lets me know when time is done.
See, I wish I had somebody like that. My husband tends to say, "Here, babe, go ahead and have some more," because he doesn't want to deal with the whole emotional thing. So
you don't feel all hangry at him, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
So now, if I'm struggling, with weight loss for years and years, how will my DNA test results help me to better, with my weight loss struggle?
Well, a couple of different things. Your DNA is basically going to help identify if your body is resistant to losing weight. Some people, unfortunately, their body might be a little resistant to that. Again, going back to what I said, it doesn't mean they can't do it. It just means, unfortunately, they have to work a little harder at it, or maybe they have to put a little bit more time into it. Some people, they don't have to put a lot of effort into it, and we all hate them. We know, it's easier for some folks than it is for other folks. But if you put in the time and you put in the effort, it's going to help. Your DNA will tell you how your body is able to process, say, carbohydrates. Is it able to basically the three main macronutrients: your fats, your proteins, and your carbs. And it can tell you how your body will handle those particular macronutrients. Does it handle it better? Does it handle a little bit slower? That sort of thing. Those are three main things you look at as far as your macronutrients. It talks about how effective cardio can be on your body as far as losing weight, how much of an effect it has on your heart, what they call your stroke volume, how much blood your heart pumps with every beat. It talks about the recovery rate. It can talk about your body's ability to absorb certain nutrients, how well your body will absorb it, or if it has a difficult time absorbing it, that sort of thing. So there's a whole bunch of different effects that your DNA has on what you do and how you live your life. And it's just a matter of finding out where you're enhanced, where you're struggling at, and where you have to really work at it. And once you zero in, that's that key. That's the key that you need to unlock what's going to work for you as an individual. And so it's DNA is still kind of new to the private sector. It's been around a long time for law enforcement and for medical professionals, and they've used it. And everybody, of course, they watch CSI or something, and they think, they see all that, how that works. Well, this is now taking it a step further to where it can now be utilized in positive effects for everybody across the board. It's the blueprint of everybody's individual body. So it's going to tell you how your body's going to respond to specific things versus how somebody else does. And that's really where it comes down to, is finding out that information, utilizing what you're enhanced at, zeroing in on that, and the things that you maybe have to struggle a little more at least you're going to know where you've got to put in that extra effort. So you're not just feeling like you're spinning your wheels for nothing.
See, I think that takes the frustration out of it too, right? Because you have, I know for myself, as I was going, it was like, oh my gosh, like your wheels are turning, you're trying to figure out things. I don't even use the word diet anymore, because I experimented with so many of them. It's just
Right.
that lifestyle change, and but it is very frustrating. So being able to have
Right.
this type of testing, readily available for you, I think it's brilliant. And
Yeah,
I think go ahead.
We see a lot of times, it's unfortunate because we'll see a lot of times people will come into the gym or into a facility and they want to lose weight. They have a particular goal. So they come in and they do what they think is the most effective thing to do. And unfortunately, most people think it's cutting calories, cutting down what you eat, maybe having a peeled grape, a piece of lettuce, and a bottle of water every day, and that's going to work. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. It actually does the opposite effect. So they get really frustrated because what they think works isn't giving them the results that they want or what they would expect. They get discouraged and they just discontinue their efforts. When if they really knew the right method of doing it, because it's like anything else, it's just you have to learn what's going to work best for you, and you have to learn how to properly train for your body to adapt. That way, when you get the results, of course, we all know, you start seeing the results, you start becoming more motivated. Then you want to work harder at it. Then you want to work longer at it. And then, of course, you get even better results. So that's what we try to focus in on, is having somebody be successful instead of feeling that discouragement of what's not working. And they get discouraged and they stop when they could be successful the whole time.
Yeah, just sticking with it, right? So for our fitness professionals out there, I really want them to listen to this, because this is going to also help them to continue to keep those clients that they're struggling with. I've had clients that we worked with for a year before, and they've kind of done this, or they've done a plateau, and we've done different meal plans and different things like that. Even trying to do, fasting, which works very well for myself.
Right.
But, trying to direct someone else to do that, sometimes it doesn't work the way. So, when you guys are out there listening, like, definitely you really want to tap into this DNA testing, because it's going to really help you to know exactly how to work with these clients. Now, what if I already have had a DNA test, through 123andMe. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can that information be used for this test, or do I have to do an entirely different DNA test?
No, actually, that information, if the right tests were done through the 123andMe with the ancestry and health programs in there, that same data can be used for this. So you don't have to do a new test. What we do is we get your information, we contact, actually I don't contact it, it's the lab through what's a company called Genetic Direction. They contact the lab that you had already done your DNA test through, and they get that information, they get the DNA results, and then they just do the application of the different genotypes for what's applicable to the health and fitness side of it versus, say, ancestry. And it's a lot better as far as the cost. The cost savings is quite a bit. I think it's somewhere around I'd have to look at the pricing on it, but I think it saves you about $100 per test, depending on what you want to do. But it can be used. It's not like you have to redo the whole thing all over again if you've already done that. But those, to my knowledge, are the only ones right now that they can effectively transfer that DNA information over to it.
Okay. So now say that say I've got someone that they're already skinny, right? They look good pretty much, right? But they want to get more tone, because I'm getting that. I just want to be toned.
Right.
Is this DNA testing going to help me to be able to help my client to create that lean muscle that they're looking for?
Absolutely. It's going to help pretty much everybody, regardless of what your goals are. It's not just for losing weight. It's going to also be for, maybe you want to gain more muscle. Maybe you've got enough muscle size that you want, but you want to cut it in or lean it in. For women, most females, they don't want to bulk up, and they're not going to. Technically, they can't. They don't have the male hormone production for gaining muscle that men have. They can tend to look really good with that still feminine look. But yeah, absolutely, because it's going to tell you how effective, for example, cardio is going to be for what you're looking to do. It'll give you information as to whether your body structure is built more for power or for endurance, because believe it or not, we're all different. Me personally, I came back when I did the testing. I've done all these testings. Everything that's available, I've done myself. And actually, my wife has done as well. It's one of those things to where we want to make sure we understand it and we actually live it and we do it before I would ever try to talk somebody else into giving it a try. But I came back as more geared toward power, heavier weights, that sort of thing. So what I would need to do to lean in is just go lighter with a higher volume. But if I don't know which way my body has a tendency to go, whether it be power or endurance, it may be a lot of trial and error to figure out what's going to work. And then the other thing too is going to be the nutritional part of it. You know, the nutrition is going to make a huge impact on what you do in the gym. You can go in the gym and you can work out 7 days a week, but if you don't have the right nutritional program, you'll still get good results, but you may never get the results you really want to target, what those results that you really focus in on. That's really what you're trying to look to do. But yeah, it does. It'll help anybody.
I think also cutting the stress out in our life too, right? Because, you know, when you've got that stress, you've got all those different stress hormones that are depositing, you know, weight places that we don't want it to deposit as well. So that's interesting. I'm really interested in trying the DNA testing myself just to see, you know, because right now I am doing a lot more lifting and it's starting to bulk up a little bit. So, but I hear it a lot, like a lot of my women, you know, clients, they're like, I don't want to lift weights at all because they feel like they're going to be this bulky person. But I know that's not true. So.
Yeah, that is. It's unfortunately, it's a huge misconception. Women are afraid that if they lift weights, they're going to get bulky and look like a man. And it's just not possible. The only way that happens when you see like a woman on stage, say doing a bodybuilding contest, that's not natural. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not natural. Neither is it normal. I mean, if that's what they want and that's what they like, that, you know, that's great for them. But typically speaking, the average woman is not going to get all bulked up. And the thing is lifting weights is very, very important for somebody to get to the goals that they have, because you want to tighten and tone all the muscles on your body. The more you tighten and tone your muscles, the more effective they're going to be at working for you and burning calories. Just give you a quick example. For every pound of lean muscle mass that you develop and build on your body has the ability to burn 50 more calories or more in everything that you do, including resting during the day. So the more you develop that muscle, the more your body is actively burning calories, even if you're sitting there. Now, if you take that same application and you put it into activity, now you're burning even more calories. So you're able to lean down the body fat even a little bit more. And for women, that's important. Women, they tend to have more fat cells than men. And that's just the way nature is. Of course, women can give life too. We would never be able to support that. So it's important. It is definitely important for women to do weight lifting in order to be able to get to the results that they want to get to.
Now, do you recommend to do more of the more reps and lighter weights, or would you go heavier?
It's going to depend on what somebody's goals are. It's really going to depend on what their goals are, but it's also going to depend on what their body is more geared to. As I was saying a few minutes ago, if you're more geared toward endurance or towards power, what's going to work for you more effectively? The ISSA genetic testing program that we have, just to kind of give you an example, it's everything. It's 34 different gene types that we test. Now, there are other tests that are available that are open to it, like what they call a GX Slim, a GX Renew, and a GX Nutrient. Mm-hmm. This information is going to tell you what your body is going to be more geared for. So is it going to be more effective for you to do lower weights and higher reps? I don't know. It depends on your gene type. Is it going to be effective for you to do heavier weights, lower reps? Again, it's going to depend on your gene type. But then it's also going to depend on what your goals are. That's going to make an impact on how you want to train as well. So it just, there's so many variables that go into it. Once we sit with a client, we find out what their goals are. We run the testing, we find out what their body is applicable to, what's going to work best for them. Then we can write out and structure an absolutely effective program for them that's going to help them get to their results as quickly as they can get, depending on the effort that they put into it. You still have to work at it. You still have to be right. You still have to train, but we can now come up with the right formula that's going to work most effectively for them.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, everybody really, as we get older, we start to deposit that weight in the waist area. And it's tough. I mean, regardless of what we do, we try to do the sit-ups, 100 sit-ups a day, or planks and things like that. And still, yes, we feel that strength, but it's just not exactly where we want it to be. So with this DNA testing, would that help us to be able to also get rid of some of that, so we can be a little more sleek and slim in the waistline?
Well, the answer is yes, it will. Because again, going back to what I said earlier, it's going to give you the information that what is going to best work for your body. Everybody knows you can't spot reduce, and this comes up quite often. We'll have somebody come in and say, well, I don't like my waistline, but I want to keep my hips or my butt, or something like that. And guys, of course, they want that real thin waist, but they want to have that huge, large chest and big arms. It's all going to depend, again, on what your body structure is best geared for and designed for. And because you can't spot reduce, you have to really focus in on what's going to help you overall on your entire body. What's going to help reduce your overall body fat? What's going to help increase your overall body muscle? Those are going to be the things that's going to help you get to the goals that you want. I'll tell you right now, if you're out there doing sit-ups every day hoping to have a six-pack, and that's what you're hoping on, it's probably not going to work for you. I mean, I don't want to discourage you. You can still get a six-pack if you focus in on what's going to work on its entirety of your whole body, not just one particular area. Unfortunately, your body's going to deposit fat wherever it wants to deposit it, and it's going to take it away from wherever it wants to take it away from. We have no control over that.
So we had a conversation the other day, and I have to bring this up because this is huge out there. And I have the issue myself in my household. Working out together with your partner, with your spouse, with your girlfriend, boyfriend. You and your wife actually have really developed this awesome thing with working out. So tell me a little bit about that, and like how that developed, what kind of struggles maybe that you had, because a lot of us out there are really trying to get our significant others to get on the same page, because I think that's really ultimately going to be how we can have those results for the long haul.
I'll tell you, it's a huge factor for me. Everybody says, when I work with them, they always say, geez, you're a tough trainer. And I say, if you think I'm tough, you should see my trainer. She's horrible. And of course, they ask me who that is. I go, it's my wife. So she and I work out very well together. She's done multiple competitions for female figure competition. She's done very, very well at it. I'm really proud of her success on that. And we work out very well together. Sometimes couples, they kind of struggle with that because, of course, the goals are going to be different. Men typically, not in all cases, but typically they want to get bulked up. They want to get stronger. They want to go heavier weights. Women, they want to lean in and they want to just be toned and tight. So the way you train can be significantly different. And a lot of the times it's hard for couples working together because you're always unloading plates, loading plates, trying to do different things, because you're really going after two separate goals. Right. But she and I, we've just been very fortunate. We've been blessed to be able to really work out together. And what we find is when I do work with couples that want to train together and we can get past the roadblocks of what kind of hinders them from their success, then the success is just around the corner, because then they complement each other. When one is down, if you're like, I'm struggling today, the other one can boost them up and get them into the gym, and vice versa. And you both complement each other as far as getting the results and complement each other on the results that you're getting. So I'm getting to see her results as I'm helping her. She's getting to see the results in me as she's helping me. And quite honestly, it tends to bring us closer. It's just getting past some of the hurdles that a lot of couples experience when they do try to do this together. That's really what it comes down to. You got to kind of get that groove that fits, so you're able to complement each other through that process.
I just got to get mine up and going. I get the excuse of, hey, I work, I'm physical all day at work, so why do I have to, go get into the gym?
Well, I mean, A part of it too is, and the honest truth is, the reality is, if one party just simply, it's not for them, and so going to the gym is just not for some people, it can make it difficult, if not impossible, to have that work out. It's something that, like anything else that you do as a couple, that you do together, it's got to be something that you both want to do together and that you both enjoy doing together. If one of them does not enjoy that aspect of it, then it's probably going to be a big struggle to try to get it to work. You're forcing something, and as you know, you just can't force it. So if it's something that you both enjoy and you want to get past those hurdles, you just work with each other, or work with somebody that helps you get past some of those hurdles that people struggle with, and then it's very successful.
Yeah. I think I need to drag my husband out on my hikes. I love getting out in nature. That's been my big thing throughout my whole entire journey. Is just getting out there, grounding, doing things like that. So tell me, when you're working with your clients, mindset is so key. What are some of the struggles that you come across with with the mindset and just trying to help your clients get over that and be able to really work at this?
I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that I explain to my clients, and I learned this through the military and through special operations trainings that I had done in the military. Mm-hmm. Your mind will give up long before your body will. Your body is an amazing, functioning, complex machine that works incredibly well. What gives up first is not our bodies, but our minds. You put certain weight on a bar and you tell the other person, let's go ahead and lift this. The first thing they do when they pick it up and they feel it's heavy is they think, oh my gosh, that's too heavy, I can't do this. They've already defeated themselves. When reality is, you'd be surprised just how far your body can go, how successful your body can be. It's our minds that give up on us first. So changing that mindset is very, very important. When they say it is mind, body, and soul, they're not kidding. It's not just a cliche. You get that mindset for it, and you'll be able to accomplish amazing things once you put that mindset to it, because your body's going to far outlast what you think your body can do. Most of us tend to be our own worst enemy. We always criticize ourselves. You look in the mirror, you don't like this, you don't like that. I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do that. When you change that pattern around and you start looking at it as if anything is possible, then it's exactly what it is. Anything is possible. So you've got to change that mindset. To be successful, you've got to think successfully of what your body can do. And I guarantee you, I've seen some people do some amazing things that they never thought they could do until they put their mind to it. It's amazing what the human body can do and can accomplish.
Yeah. Just believe in yourself and what you can do, right?
Yes,
I know I've seen, some of those stories where you have the little woman and their child is in danger, right? And they're picking up a car. Yes. So we know that it is possible for us to do some amazing things. And you're right. It's definitely.
I've seen overseas, unfortunately, in some terrible situations, I've seen the human body accomplish amazing feats that the mind typically would never think you could do. But once you have that right mindset, it's not going to stop me. It's not going to hold me back. It's not going to put me down. I can and will. Then you usually do. It's amazing what you can do. Just focus in on that mind, body, and soul, and you've got it covered.
Yeah. Take can't out of your vocabulary. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So how can I get this DNA testing? Do I just go to your website? How do I get this?
Yeah, you can go to my website, jkelly-fitness.com. And there is a contact form in there. You can reach out to me on that. You can call me. You can call me directly. And we can actually, these are the kits. This is just the kit. This is the kit that actually it comes in. And all that's in here is just a little envelope with a little tube and a little swab in there. And you swab your mouth in that. You put it in the tube. You just drop it in the envelope. It's a self-addressed stamped envelope, and it goes directly to the lab out in Georgia. Now, one of two ways. If you're here local where I'm at, then I sit down with you. We get your test. We answer some basic questions to get you registered online, and then we send your sample in. It takes about 2 to 3 weeks for them to go through all the testing and for them to get the reports back. And then you get a very huge comprehensive report. It's about 89 pages. Wow. And it covers quite a bit. I mean, it's amazing. I was very shocked at the amount of information it covers. As I said, about 2 to 3 weeks that comes back. I get an email on it, and we kind of review it, and then there's a lot of information there for me to unpack to then find out how to construct the program that's going to work for you. So this is all it is. Now, if you're somewhere that's not close, I can actually have this kit sent directly to your address. Now, if you're a personal trainer and you've got a client that you think this is going to benefit, it's okay. We can still do it. We can send it to either you as a trainer or to your client. Then once you get the kit with your client, contact me. We'll get you set up to where we answer the questions. I have you do the swab right then and there with your trainer. You put it in the envelope and you send it off. I'll get the information. I'll forward it to the personal trainer that has sent this in, or whoever it is that has requested this of me. And then that trainer will deal with their clients. That makes sure that they have that good continuity between them and their client. Yeah. Plus, they've been working with their client, so they know some of the struggles their client has. I don't know that information. What I'm going to know is when the test results come in, I'm going to know what I can suggest to you as their trainer. And then you knowing that client, you can really apply this process to have them be successful in the results. So it's a really easy process. Either come see me, I get it mailed to you, but either way, we'll get it to you.
Now, you mentioned that you do online training as well. If someone wants to come and do some online training with you, do you do online training? Is it nationwide, worldwide?
Yeah. Anybody's got an internet connection. If you want to get a hold of me, just go to my website and you can fill out a contact form. I'll get in contact with you and we'll find out what exactly it is that you're looking to do. I can either do online programs for you where it's basically consulting with me on what's going to work for you. I've got a couple of clients currently that I'm doing some virtual online training with, and I do physical training with clients in person here locally at an Anytime Fitness here in Port St. Lucie. So it's a number of ways. If you're not here local or you don't want to do it in person, everybody's still kind of a little leery of going to the gyms and the pandemic and everything else that's going on. It's understandable. Nobody wants to go to the gym to get sick. So you can do it online. If you feel comfortable in being able to exercise on your own, but you just need a program that's going to work for your results, for what you want to do, I can write you out a program. If you want to really get zeroed into it, do the testing, we write you up a program, you apply it, and then you get the results that you want.
Easy peasy. See, so many good things there.
Try to make it as available as I could,
Right. No, definitely. No, this is really great, John. Again, I am just amazed at what this can do for us, as trainers, also what it could do for us in our personal life with just really honing in on, what we need to do. We are all completely different in our makeup. But, when we do have the right answers, there's really no excuse on us being able to hit the goals that we need to hit. So, and just having that right mindset as well.
Right. We determined when we sat down, we thought about it, we figured on average, and I think I might have said this already, on average, it would take a personal trainer, say, let's just, for example, say 2 half-hour sessions a week for a 2-month time period on average to determine exercise-wise what might best work for that particular client, what their body is going to best respond to. About a 2-month time period. You figure what you're paying for that 30-minute session, 8 sessions a month, 16 sessions overall. And then the nutritional side of it can be even much more trickier. And that's something that can also be zeroed in by this program. So you're taking about 16 sessions worth of trial and error, because it's really what it comes down to. A lot of times trainers will just kind of use a basic plan, see how their client's body responds, and then tweak that plan as they go along to try to find out what best works for them. This cuts all that out. There's no guesswork. There's no, let's try this for a week or two. There's no, how much cardio do you do? Should you do this? Should you do more? Should you do less? This cuts all through that, and it goes right straight to the nuts and bolts of it. So it makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker on getting the results that most people want.
So get these quick results, people. Well, if you want to connect with John, you're going to go to John's website at johnkellyfitness.com. Jay Kelly, excuse me, Jay Kelly. We got Jay Kelly. It's actually on the ticker here. We've got it here. And also, he has been in our Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine in the October edition. So if you want to subscribe to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics, and you can see John and also hear a little bit more about the DNA testing as well. John, I want to really thank you so very much for joining us tonight. Is there anything, or today? Morning, is there anything else that you want to add in there before we close today to our audience?
You know what? I think the only thing I'd say is there's a lot of programs out there. You hear 20 minutes this, 20-minute Brazilian butt, 20-minute abs, 20-minute chest, 20-minute. Listen, if they're advertising anything on 20 minutes only, you need to turn that off and you need to go someplace else. You're never going to accomplish the results that most people want in 20 minutes. You need to put in the hard work and you need to eat properly. No matter what you do, no matter what kind of pill they come up with, no matter what kind of 20-minute routine they come up with, you still have to apply that effort to it. But here's the thing. If you're trying to get to your goal, you're working very hard to get there. Once you get to that goal, then you're just maintaining what you've already accomplished. So you're not having to work, in most cases, you're not having to work as hard. It feels like it's forever to get there, but once you get to your goal, then you're just maintaining. You keep working out, you keep exercising, you keep eating clean and healthy, keep an active lifestyle, and it's going to continue to serve you best. Your body is only going to last so long if you don't take care of it. If it were a car, we'd change the oil, we'd rotate the tires, we'd do maintenance on it. Well, we've only got one of these. We have to do the things that it needs in order for it to last us as long as we want it to last us. And that does take the effort. There's no 20-minute anything. It's not possible. So don't believe that stuff. That's hard work and then putting in that effort. And remember, you have the ability to accomplish so much more than what you typically think. Your body is an amazing piece of equipment or machinery, whatever you want to term it as, and it can do amazing things. You just got to harness in on what's working best for you, and you will get to your goals. There's no question about it. I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much. It's been enjoyable.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John. I'm going to go ahead and. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for our Phoenix Fitness Fanatics featured business. John Kelly, he is an ISSA trainer, DNA program designer as well. If you are looking to hone in and really pinpoint what you need to do in order to get to that optimal health, definitely go to John's website and also subscribe to Phoenix Fitness Fanatics magazine so you can see John's article in there as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. I love you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.